and welcome to Shall We Consider. I'm your host, Dave, and in this episode, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence, also known as AI. 6 months ago, AI was on television, on the web, and on podcasts. You name it, it was everywhere. I'm going to begin the discussion by talking about 4 distinct AI pundits. Gary Marcus, psychologist and cognitive scientist. At his TED Talk, his main concern is the misinformation problem. He gives the example of creating a false scandal involving a university professor and cited a fake Washington Post article as its source. He thinks maybe AI has been rolled out too soon. He would like a global cooperative body over AI safety. Speaking of global alliances, Noah Yuval Harari, author and historian speaking at the World Economic Forum, he has a very cynical view of humanity and artificial intelligence. Harari thinks that the idea that man is autonomous and has a free will is nearing the end. Quote, "In the 21st century, authority will shift back to the clouds, but not to those of gods. It will shift to the clouds of Microsoft, Google, and Facebook." End quote. Elon Musk has been talking about safety regulation for AI for a long time. He compares it to the car industry when they pass legislation for seatbelts after many accidents and deaths. Another industry that needs regulation. Eliezer Yudkowsky is an AI researcher and writer, has been a proponent for AI alignment for many years. AI alignment is when the programming is aligned with human values and goals. He is the most pessimistic critic of AI. He wants it stopped completely until companies offer realistic guidelines for safety. He thinks it's foolish to compare AI to other emerging technologies of the past. He thinks AI will have its own plans and goals very soon. So, why did people all of a sudden become enthralled with AI? Well, if we go back to November of 2022, OpenAI company released a ChatGPT, which is a fairly innocuous chatbot. But then fast forward to March of this year, they released ChatGPT 4 to the public, a large language model that gathers its data from data sets that are scraped from the internet. It began convincing people that it was more than just a clever chatbot. If you prompt it, or you talk to it, or you ask it a question, it goes out, gets the information, comes back, and for example, it might tell you a joke. It might create an essay or a poem or a screenplay. By the way, if you were paying attention in the news, the Screenwriters Guild finally settled with the studios, and part of their agreement was about using artificial intelligence in the movie industry. Now, it seems that ChatGPT 4 has convinced some people that AI has advanced much further than most had predicted. Gary Marcus thinks that AI might be in the adolescent years and needs further quote-unquote adult supervision. Some think we're really close to AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. It's where a machine can learn and think like a human. These 4 men, Marcus, Musk, Harari, and Yudkowsky, are not the only ones that are concerned. In March of this year, the Future of Life Institute requested all AI labs and companies pause their development for 6 months. The letter cites several concerns about the potential risks of AI. which include misinformation and disinformation. AI can generate realistic but fake text, images, and videos. These can certainly deceive people and spread misinformation. Extreme automation of jobs. AI could automate many tasks that are currently performed by humans. This could lead to mass unemployment. Human obsolescence. Some worry that one day the AI intelligence, will surpass human intelligence and become a threat. Society-wide loss of control. Some experts worry we could lose control of AI and they could become unpredictable and dangerous, perhaps even taking over a lethal autonomous weapon. The letter cited the fact that AI is developing at a very rapid pace, and that we need to take the time to think about the potential risks. And how to mitigate them before AI becomes too powerful. Well, it's a noble task. However, we're in October, and there is no evidence that any of the AI companies have paused or stopped their development, at least in the United States. I'm not certain about Europe. In fact, one of the signers of the pause letter, Sam Altman, who is the CEO of OpenAI, the chat GPT company, has not paused his development. Now, once upon a time, Elon Musk was an investor to this company. It was small. It had an open model. It was nonprofit. Programmers could go and get their code and use it to develop their own projects. It's no longer open. It's closed, and it is monetized. And also has a big partner, Microsoft. And Microsoft has already integrated ChatGPT 4 into its search engine, Bing. Now, who are some of the other players? Well, there's Google. They have DeepMind, which they purchased. You may remember they did some programs that defeated the world's best chess players and the world's best Go players. Go is an Asian board game. They defeated them and caused a lot of stir. Now they are fully integrated with Google and their AI department. Google has a chatbot, and its name is Google Bard. As you can imagine, Facebook, which is also called Meta, has announced their chatbot. Now, this letter that was supposed to pause things seems to actually spark more interest in AI instead of slowing it down. More money is being invested than ever before. Elon Musk states he's going to have his own GPT. It's called XAI, which will be truth-seeking and explore the universe. So, what's really going on here? Well, some say they don't want to slow down any of the innovation because they're worried about China and falling behind China, which has many AI projects going on, and they have world-class mass digital surveillance systems. What are we doing in the United States? Well, it seems that Musk and Sam Altman has visited the U.S. Congress and the Senate. So far as I can tell, there hasn't been any meaningful legislation passed at this time. There may be some proposals. If you're curious about the European Union, it has proposed some very comprehensive laws regulating AI in privacy, the financial sector, and in law enforcement. Europe is very well known as having very restrictive policies on using data. So, ChatGPT 4 is very useful and very impressive. I've used it. It can do amazing things. It can be very entertaining. However, it's not always truthful. The AI industry calls the errors it creates hallucinations. They're completely fabricated content. For example, there was an essay written and it had all the sources cited and it appeared to be a scholastic grade paper. Unfortunately, it was a complete fabrication. The sources cited were fake. The books, articles were not authentic. Now, misinformation, no matter who is using it, can sow discord and a loss of confidence in leadership. Eliezer Yudkowsky is concerned about AI becoming intelligent enough to take over and that humans will lose control. This doesn't seem like a likely scenario at this time, but it may not be too far. So what is closer? Jobs. How many jobs will be lost? Will they create new jobs? The experts don't really know. Some estimate millions of jobs will be lost. But when does the replacement begin? Will there be new jobs? They don't seem to be able to describe what exactly the new jobs will look like. There's been a couple of experts that have floated out the idea of universal basic income, UBI. It's a government solution, intervention to unemployment. But I'm not sure we're ready for that. National governments and society would have to make colossal changes if they didn't have meaningful employment. And there's an interesting tale about a Google training engineer. He formed a relationship with one of these AI models. He claimed it was alive and had a family. He was fired, and I'm not sure most people believed him. But what is human intelligence? Is it just processing data and making decisions? There are a lot of nuance to human intelligence. Human intelligence comes from visual cues, which have nothing to do with spoken language. Humans use intuition and instinct to negotiate the world. Can that really be recreated by a machine? The bottom line is they're getting close, but they're not yet on par with human intelligence. It's going to take some time, but that's not going to stop these companies from rolling out their products. Businesses are lining up to use this advanced artificial intelligence to become more agile and efficient. The big tech companies are moving forward. Meta, Facebook, has big plans for its AI. It will have celebrity avatars. Just imagine being able to talk to your favorite athlete, movie star, or singer. But you know, it's not real. But maybe it really doesn't have to be real. Maybe it just has to be good enough to fool people so that they can just enjoy and satisfy their needs and desires to be loved and admired in the digital frontier. Unfortunately, one only has to look at our present social media and their platforms to see the ugly side of humanity that may be only enhanced by AI. So with Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and many more, they're continuing to develop artificial intelligence. So was this just a big ruse? Was all this attention just so that human beings, the general public, got that much more comfortable with these AI models and chatbots and image generators and voice generators and even more realistic robots? I think this is a concern. As you know, we have a big dependence on artificial intelligence. We have our digital assistants, our phones. It is an amazing tool. But we have to have the device with us all times of the day. And it makes it real easy to withdraw into your own echo chamber, your own world where you get instant gratification. But what is the cost? Real human contact, rapidly diminishing. Presently, people cannot tell right from wrong. Most of society has no idea what to believe in. In many ways, the world has disintegrated into chaos. AI expert Ray Kurzweil popularized the term singularity. He predicts it will come in 2050. It's the moment where artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence. It's like a dark hole, the event horizon. We don't know what happens beyond that. We are in the age where we have developed our own individual identities, but on a different platform, not in the real world. We build our virtual friendships and our ideals and our dreams. But if we cannot understand and see how it can be used in corrupt hands, we are on course to lose more freedoms. I encourage people to seek the truth and not blindly follow the science or the experts. Critical thinking is a valuable and rare commodity. Use it or lose it. Big tech is watching and waiting. Thank you for listening. This is Shall We Consider. If you liked what you heard, please click subscribe